Greetings, class. It's Friday, August 23rd, 2013, and I'm sitting on my deck enjoying this another gorgeous summer day after putting together a little slideshow for your viewing pleasure. This time I decided to put captions on the pictures so I don't have to try to narrate them in time at all. So you will see my visit to Green Mountain College and Carradouin Farm on Wednesday when we had our faculty retreat, which was really a great opportunity for all of us to share our experiences and what works and what doesn't. And I hope you will continue to give us good feedback on what works and what doesn't for you. And it also gave me a chance to actually show you the little bit of the operation that you have been reading about in Ken Mulder's leaf analysis, which was a great opportunity. So there it is. And of course, we're checking in on the Freedom Rangers this morning as I let them out of their pen for the day, and a little bit of the scenery and the apple orchard and how wonderful that is. So enjoy the images. I'm going to comment a little bit on your wonderful first discussion of the week as you dive into the more economic end of the technology, energy, and economics subject matter. Of course, technology is a huge subject, but before we get into that, I will just make a couple of little housekeeping comments. You will note that I have now opened week 6, and there are some really good resources that you should be using for your final paper, and so I hope that you're really getting into that as well as our discussions here on the forums. So I spent some more time this morning continuing to read the discussions and added some more comments that supposedly closed last night. I see that only a few of you managed to get your first posts up on Wednesday as most desired, and I hope that you will keep trying to get the conversations happening a little bit earlier in this cycle. And I also would admonish you to please slow down and really take the time to proofread what you're writing before you post it, because it seems like a lot of typos and bad grammar and punctuation and misspellings, etc., are creeping back in, for some of you more than others, of course. So don't worry about it if it's not a problem for you. So anyway, this was another great discussion. Most of you chose to talk about George Basala's work, and it is there were some really good insights that came with that. I was also very happy to see some of you integrating some of Brian Tokar's work into this discussion. I hope that you will take the time to listen to that conversation if you weren't fortunate enough to participate in it. I think that there were some very relevant ideas there for the discussion we're having this week about technology and how we assess technology. and what kinds of technology are sustainable or not. So, one thing that some of you picked up on was the idea that the assumptions that Basala was talking about are um, only incorrect if they're taken as unquestioned. Um, and at least one of you made the point very clearly that these assumptions aren't given as his own opinions for you to agree with or disagree with based on your opinions, but that those are historical rationales that have been provided since, well, probably much longer than the Renaissance, but certainly since the Renaissance, for making particular decisions about investments in particular avenues of technology. And, and this has accelerated, of course, since the Industrial Revolution. And um, we are always dealing with the need to sort out good technology from bad technology. Uh, there is no value judgment about technology in general that can be made, because technology is part of what makes us human, is our ability to use tools and forethought to alter our environment for our own purposes, of course. So, um, I guess the only point here is that um, it is equally invalid to make a totally black judgment that technology only makes things worse, as it is to make the false assumption that technology is bringing us into increased human satisfaction and happiness. Both of those are incorrect, because they are absolutes that are not true in all cases. Um, so I think that it is interesting to me that very few of you actually made the connection, and there was some hint at it in some of your thoughts, that the assumption that growth of civilization is a good thing. And many of you have made comments about population growth not being such a good thing, but civilization growth is another one of those assumptions that I think we need to challenge, and that uh, the civilization that we put in little quotes here is uh, an interesting concept, because civilization actually comes from the same root as cities and civic, right? So I'm glad that you had such great conversations. I'll leave you with a couple of quotes. One from Gandhi, which is one of my favorites. When he was asked what he thought of Western civilization, his response was, "It would be a good idea." Uh, and my teacher, one of my mentors, and Brian's as well, was Murray Bookchin, the founder of social ecology, who compared capitalism to a cancer on the planet, because of its inexorable demand to grow or die. And that is a very important corollary to the question of whether the growth of civilization is what we're seeking. or whether what we're seeking is actually more of a steady state um, system that maintains a kind of harmonious balance with its environment. And with that, I'll leave you to get into the coin of the realm. Keep in mind that this is an inseparable question from how you make decisions about what technology you will invest in for the long term. Now it's time for me to get back to grading your papers. So have fun, and I'll try to also. Till next time, thanks for listening.